Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance, and you are looking at Death Knight 747 Hero in the FIFI, the 105 leFH18B2, the French Tier 5 Premium SPG. Of course, it's FIFI La Pew Pew because we can see on the colours on the side of this SPG that it's actually been named. It's in the French colours, the tricolour, their national colours, the blue, white and red. And of course we're on the north spawn of Swamp. Now Death Knight, as we're going to call him, is moving off to the east to a particular position which tends to be a bit overused, I think, by artillery, because obviously you don't want to give away where you're likely to be, but from this little position, you do have a measure of protection from tanks that are heading from the west towards you. And he's extended his aim just a little for the moment. Okay, now he's looking in the south. So VK3001H on the ridge line has been spotted by the enemy, by his scouts. Now, we can see that Death Knight is an experienced player because he's actually using his right-hand mouse button to hold his aim on a particular spot whilst he adjusts and looks elsewhere, see if he can find other targets. Okay, he's got an ELC, just lining up a shot on it, rounds out, bit late, falls behind it. Okay, it's being chased by one of his light tanks who's obviously done a bit of spotting. Bit dangerous for that ELC to do that, but he gets around into the ELC, causes a critical hit and does some damage. Okay, I think he tracked it actually. He's fired another round at the ELC. Unfortunately it's gone in blind because they can't see it now. But there's a T1 heavy, it's in the courtyard of the castle, using the rock for protection. He's facing off against the G1R. Now here, Death Knight can actually be of great assistance to that T1 Heavy if he can put shells into that G1R. Unfortunately, the T1 Heavy's been killed, and Death Knight's rounds go in, but unfortunately hit the ground in front of the G1R. So he's going to have another shot at this ELC. Round goes out, and it's just fired a little too late. No adjustment, but there's a T67 sitting off here to one side, doing absolutely nothing. So he's centered his aim. Nice tight, and it goes in. Hits the T67. The shell disappears. No explosion. So we know that T67's damaged. And the enemy's just lost a Chaffee. Okay, shoots another round. No joy in that. Right, he's moving position now. He hasn't moved since he's set up, but he's decided he wants to go a little further to the closer to that rock face. And so this is a well-known position for Arty players though, and can be subject to counter battery if the enemy looks in that particular place. They can see the tracer from the shells. Okay, he's aiming. Oh, you can see a tree go down. Enemy tank must have caused that. Yes, it was the Chaffee that caused that. And the T67 he hit earlier is actually, it's lost half his hit points already, that T67. So his strike obviously did a lot of damage to that T67. He fires a shell, but the P67 pulls back behind that rock. The Chaffee, on the other hand, though, is not pulling back, not much. Death Knight fires, good shot, 127 hit points, 2 critical hits. And the T67's been taken out by the Gorilla, and he picks up the that Chaffee and kills him. Gets the remainder of the points off him. 233 on that second shot. Okay, there's a T67 trying to climb the rise there. He can just get it. Just very narrow shot. Rounds out. Direct hit. 183 hit points. Wiped out. Great shot there. It's a very difficult shot because it's a very narrow aim, because that T67 was actually on a rise. He shoots ahead of the 3001H, but it's a little too early. It lands on the ground in front. Okay, now he should be able to judge the speed just right. So long as that... He does. He turns towards Death Knight. So he shoots, rounds in, hits the water next to him. That's a pity. Okay, let's see if he can get this right. It's stationary. He can hit it now. but it's been killed before he can shoot out, and that one's been killed as well. It's a pity here because he's missing out on some good kills, but it's unfortunate because other members of his team are getting there ahead of him. He's got 2 kills already. That's pretty good. Okay, let's see what else. Oh, there's another T-67. He shoots around. Unfortunately, it just flies over the top. It's only got 6 hit points, though. Should be an easy kill, even for a splash. A near miss should do the trick. Rounds out. Oh, it had moved already. Ah, no, if it pulls back, he can shoot it, but his teammate that in the other T-67 gets there first. Right, there's an M4 here. Now it's going up to those bushes, I think. He shoots at it. It misses, but he can get another round into it. It's almost ready. Rounds out. Oh, no, into the ground next to it. Get ready for another. Rounds out. Direct hit. 140 hit points. Wiped out the M4 as well. Okay, so Excelsior coming around the corner. This is going to be difficult. That Excelsior's got a lot of hit points. So he's actually pulling back behind that rock face, trying to get around the corner without drowning himself in the process. That's going to make it difficult for the Excelsior to go after him, but it could result in him drowning if he's not careful. This is very, very awkward. Now the Excelsior's lost a lot of hit points. I think he must have received quite a lot of hits from Death Knight's teammates. And if it comes around the corner at him, he's acquired the target manually, he shoots and he kills the Excelsior. Okay, that just leaves him now. Which targets has he got left? Okay, we've got 4 enemies still to go. So that's 5 actually. He had 5 enemies when he killed the Excelsior. So he's on for a Kolobanov if Death Knight can win this. It's difficult. He's trying to stay on the edge there, make it a very narrow field of view. The enemy has to come to the cap if they want to cap out. And they will then be in Death Knight's view and he can shoot at them. And if they want to try and claim his soul and come to him directly, they're going to have to go through the water, and he can hit them in the water and possibly drown them. It's a very dangerous position to take, though. As I say, that's a very well-known position, and a shell lands in the water there, kicks up a big water spout. He's in a dangerous position because he could drown himself if he's not careful. Okay, you can see the G1R. Okay, he's trying to get a nice speed on it. It's on that rise there. It's very difficult to hit. He can hit it now. Manual shot. Bang. He's got it. And that Death Toaster is in dangerous circumstances. He could be shot now. And he kills him. 350 hit points. That means that Death Knight now just faces 2 Artys on the enemy team. He's got 6 kills now. So that means he's got the top gun. And it worked. You know, being around that cliff allowed him to get a shot into that Death Toaster, and Death Toaster couldn't fire back at him. He was under the water. So Death Toaster's moving now. He's going to get out of that position because the enemy knows that he's there. They might try to shoot in at him. There's a few positions they could take to do that. Somewhere around about D1 or E1, they could shoot into that corner and take him out directly. But what he's going to do instead is he's going to relocate. He's seen the Bishop. Good thing about the Fifi is it's got a very long view range, 390 meters, being based on a heavy tank. He's aiming carefully at the Bishop, right into the superstructure, wipes it out, 135 hit points, good clean kill. Right, that just leaves the AMX-13AM. Now, this should be very interesting. The AMX-13AM is actually quite a fast Arty. This Tier 5 French artillery piece can actually move quite rapidly. It's also got a 105mm gun, 10.5 centimeters gun, but it's not quite as accurate as the Fifi. Oh my god, it's been seen! And it hasn't got a faster reload either. He's aiming, rounds out, and he hits it, but he doesn't kill it. And I don't think he tracks it. Now, it fires at him, but he misses. And Death Knight reloads and wipes him out, and that's a Kolobanov Medal. 59 hit points, takes out the AMX-105 and wins the match for his team. What a carry. So it's an ace tanker for Death Knight 747_hero. Yes, he certainly was a hero in that battle. He also gets a Bruiser medal for damaging at least 5 modules or crew incapacitations. He picks up the medal that everyone wants, the Kolobanov Medal, for standing alone against 5 enemy and winning. He also picked up a Radley Walters, because when he killed that 105, that was the 8th kill of the battle. He picks up the counter battery because he took out both the Bishop and the AMX-105, both of the enemy artillery pieces. And he picks up a high caliber for scoring the most damage in the battle. And on top of that, he gets a top gun for killing at least 6 of the enemy. So that's a lot of medals to win. And if we look at the team scores, he was highest in the amount of damage, 1,796 hit points. Highest number of kills, 8 kills. Highest base XP, 1,105 experience points. And if we look at the detail report, he fired only 26 rounds. Normally a Fifi would fire about, 36 rounds in a battle? He only fired 26, a third of what, 2/3 of what other tanks would fire. He also got 11 direct hits, 10 penetrations, 6 splash damage, damage of 1,796 hit points, of which 888 was at more than 300 meters. So you can see a fair old amount, nearly 900 hit points was, or over 900 hit points was very close range. Then he actually spotted 2 enemy vehicles, the Bishop and the AMX-105. He damaged 11 enemy vehicles. He killed 8 of them. And he, on a standard account, he earned 30,088 credits. After deductions for ammunition, which is cheap on the Fifi, he actually walked away with 26,776. Now, if you remember, most standard winning standard tanks would walk away with about 10,000 credits. He's got nearly 2.5 times that amount. He earned base XP of 1,105 experience points. Add on to that 442 experience points for being in a premium vehicle and 22 experience points for being in a platoon, and he got a grand total of 1,569 experience points in total. So well done there, Death Knight 747 hero. You certainly did make the day and carry for your team, and that's a great Kolobanov, a really nice one. Shows a lot of skill when it comes to handling that position, that well-known position on Swamp. You did it expertly. So if you enjoyed this replay, please do give it a like and do subscribe to our channel. And hopefully I will see you in the next replay.